people are often asking like, yeah, I don't understand my purpose and all that. You don't need to understand so many things. I don't want to, I literally want to leave because my.
All right, guys, welcome back to Coconut Talks podcast. Today, we're joined by serial entrepreneur Mr. Adi Hashmi. If that's correct, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay, great. If I'm not wrong, in 2016, you launched the award-winning beauty salon Bakshi Beauty and Spa.
Exactly.
In 2019, you got started in real estate,
Yeah.
and you then went on to start some e-commerce brands in the men's grooming niche.
Exactly, bro. Spot
Okay.
on, man.
Perfect.
Well researched.
Yeah, and apparently you're working on a new company as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great. So I just found out you're not actually from France. You're Pakistani, right?
Yeah. I'm originally from Pakistan.
Yeah.
So like my father migrated like to Europe around 36 years ago.
Okay.
And yeah, since then we've just been based in Pakistan, in Paris.
Nice. So tell me a bit more about your background, like, where you came from, like how it was like growing up.
Yeah, man. Like, so basically, I'm born in Paris, and I'm originally from Pakistan. So my father, he owns like a bakery store in Paris,
Okay.
and literally just seeing, like my father, just like an immigrant parents,
Yeah.
working his ass off every single time, man.
Yeah.
And like for us, the parents, they just want the best education for their kids.
Yeah.
So at the age of 10 or 11, I got sent to UK because my father wanted me to have like a higher education and British education and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So after that, like I was in UK. I grew up in UK in London for almost 13 years.
Yeah.
And just during that time, just started doing a few businesses and just keep working. And after that, I just been to Paris.
Yeah. Nice. So let's hear the full story though. How'd you go from that 13-year-old kid to where you are now, like the serial entrepreneur, like you got all these successful businesses?
Yeah, bro. It's not an easy journey,
Yeah.
but
Let's run it all the way back.
yeah, bro. Like I always understood one thing, that you really have to get your things sorted out at an early age.
Yeah.
When I was in UK, there was like my parents weren't there. I was in boarding school, so I realized at a young age that you got to do like stand up for yourself and start working out on your own things.
Yeah.
I was lucky because I was well surrounded. Like students and teachers and everyone else always guided me to the right way, And during this time, every single time, like I've had this responsibility that I know my father is working so hard, and
Yeah.
I, as a man, as a kid, I need to take a responsibility that one day I have to help out my father.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my inspiration. Even
Yeah.
while I was studying, that I need to know what's the reason why I'm in UK.
Yeah. So how did you get the idea to launch Bakshi, like the beauty spa?
Yeah. So that was my first business actually.
Yeah.
I launched.
What were you doing before that? Like before you?
I was working. I had several jobs, man. Like as soon as I graduated from university, I went to Southampton University, and just like everyone else, I needed experience. I didn't have
Yeah.
that experience, but I came back to Paris. I was working in a restaurant, working in a call center, working like a real estate agent, a few
Yeah.
jobs. And I saved up a few money, like a sum of money, and I remember I went with one of my friend. And my plan was actually to open a barbershop.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like a friend of mine in London, she just came back from a beauty salon. She spent like a lot of money. So I kind of took it as a business idea, like ladies, they just spend more, So I took that principle and just brought it in Paris and just start launching my first beauty salon. My sister is a makeup artist.
Yeah.
So I sponsored Paris Fashion Week. I went to
Nice.
Festival du Cannes. So we were like the first, let's say, Indian Pakistani
Yeah.
brand that sponsored Festival du Cannes and Paris Fashion Week. And
Yeah.
that was crazy, man. After that, everything just kicked off really well.
Yeah. Does it still exist to this day? The
Yeah, it
beauty
does. It does. My
it's
sister
doing
is
well?
the one. Yeah, my sister is the one taking over. We grew to like 4 salons right now.
Nice.
So it's doing really well. But for me, obviously, like it's not something that is in my field. I just did it
Yeah.
because I needed.
You saw an opportunity and you're like,
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
I'll learn whatever like it takes. Like,
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
just get
Because
into it.
a lot of people sometimes they end up saying, bro, you're owning a chain of beauty salon. I'm like, yeah, but you got to do what you got to do
Yeah.
to start a business, and it really kicked off well. And with that, I expanded other businesses.
Nice. So how did you go from that to getting into real estate? Like, what led you there?
My father always told me that, son, whenever you start making money, invest into real estate. Back home, like in Pakistan, my grandfather always had land. Like that's such a big thing, like back home. So I always had this, like the lesson that my father told me. And when my business started like kicking off, I just started investing into real estate. I bought my first apartment. And then, I just started growing that into several more. And alhamdulillah, man, after a while, things did really worked out for me in the real estate market.
Yeah. So you started off doing real estate in France?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you own any properties like in any other cities or countries?
Yeah, so basically I have six properties in Paris. I have two in Lahore. And yeah, man, at the moment, that's about it. And I'm planning to do something in Dubai, inshallah.
Nice. What's like your number one tip for anyone like trying to get into real estate?
Yeah, you need to understand like where you are, where you're going to invest, and understand like if there is actually a value to the market. What I usually do is I try to look into all the opportunities and the value of the property, if it's going to have a higher return like in 5 years or later on. And obviously just try to save up as much as you can to get something that's more valuable.
So how did that lead on to starting your e-commerce brands? And how many e-commerce brands do you own?
Yeah, so COVID happened. And all my beauty salons, they got shut down.
Yeah.
And during that time, even before, I wanted to open like my e-commerce brand. So everyone was like, why you want to open your e-commerce brand and everything. But there's one lesson that I got, like someone told me years ago when I was at university, was don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Always differentiate with like different things.
Yeah.
So I ended up going back to the beauty salon, and I was like, okay, that's just gonna be off because of COVID. And I launched my e-commerce brand. So basically it was men's grooming products and everything else. And that's what we actually were working on just before COVID. And we had our clients, we had everything, we had all the data and everything. So we just started like emailing them and saying to them, like there's a new product that's coming out. So if you want it. And it worked out really well. Like literally within 2 months, everything was sold out. You know, and it was all organic. So everything was just made in Paris. It wasn't like some from somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it was like well researched and everything else. So the brand, if like I spent so much time creating the brand, and when the brand became like so famous, everyone like basically trusted the brand.
Yeah.
So it was.
So you just chose to like put your like white label name on like all the other businesses.
Exactly, brother.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other
Good
day.
coconut, man.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day. Business brands versus personal brands.
Yeah.
I was like, personal brands are much more flexible. Like you can, like if your brand has a face to it, like it's a personal brand, you can like experiment with different like niches, different things like that. But if it's like a business brand, like for example, you have like the Apple logo, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you can't like, I don't know, make Apple logo makeup. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like people will just think that's corny.
Yeah.
But
for sure, man.
but if it was like, for example, Louis Vuitton, or like one of these designer brands, right?
Yeah.
Like they like experiment so many different things, like they'll have like
sure.
random things, like they'll have a Louis Vuitton like shelf or something, and people will buy it.
That's because, bro, like after a while, like people love the story behind it.
Yeah.
People understand, like, there's a story behind a brand and they want to be part of it. It just becomes a community.
Yeah.
I know, like, I'm born in Paris. Paris is like the headquarters of like fashion.
Yeah.
And everyone, whenever, like they buy something, they kind of refer to themselves as, like if they wear Louis Vuitton, it's like more flashy and everything else.
Yeah.
So there's that community. They always stick together,
Yeah.
So
I think the best businesses always have a personal brand and a business brand. Like for example, if we take like Apple, right? They have like the Apple logo, right? That's like the business brand, right? But then you have like Steve Jobs. He's like a face of it, and he's like the personal brand. People like the story and everything.
That's why it's so important, like to speak about what's the story behind your brand. You know, nowadays what you see, like so many influencers talking about their brands and everything, and you kind of can relate to the story, and the part of it. And I mean, nowadays, creating a brand is mostly about the storytelling.
Yeah.
So that's something that's working really well.
It's an art. It's like,
bro, it's a lot. It's like art. But you know what? I started documenting Bakshi and like my journey after everything became successful. You know, I didn't have social media. I didn't go out. I didn't have Facebook or whatever. But I knew one thing. I was like, I have to really focus myself on creating something, and then I will, start talking about something I've created was successful. And I will just create a background story to it. You know, like this is how I actually did. This is what I did before, because no one really wants to listen to someone who's just losing life. You know, unfortunately, bro. Like this is the reality of life nowadays.
Yeah. So I was telling you earlier about like when I first started the podcast, I was like, I'll just talk about me, and then I realized no one gives a shit about me because I haven't done shit yet. I'm like, let me like do some shit. Till then, let me bring people who people actually give a shit about, who've actually done stuff. That's why I was like, okay, I gotta focus more on the guest. Like everything started making more sense. Like, okay, this is how this podcast game is run, you know?
Bro, you know what? A lot of the times, people are, if you're a good listener, you can just understand that people are gonna give you so much value. And you're giving a platform to people, right? Like to speak about their journey or the lessons or whatever. I mean, you are learning from it, but the people who are watching this as well, like they're getting so much knowledge out of it. You know? And every person is different. Every journey is different. So you are literally doing such a great job, bro. That you're giving a platform to people and having this amazing coconut, you know? And that's really, really good, bro. Good for you, bro.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I try to like make every podcast as enjoyable as possible and also add as much value as possible. At the same time. Like I remember the first few podcasts that I posted, like it was just random shit. Like I don't even know what you're talking about, like metaphysical stuff or some shit. You know? Some metaphysical bullshit. Like we're talking about the universe. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's interesting. Like if you're like, I don't know, like about to fall asleep or something. I'm like, how can I add value? So yeah.
I think the more people you get on your podcast, or like you surround yourself, and that's something that truly helped me, like on my business journey. I remember my father once told me that, son, if you surround yourself with the right people, you're already one step ahead of just achieving your goals. And if you, I mean, nowadays, bro, like a lot of guys are just, you're gonna see them out in the clubs, you're gonna just see them literally lost in life. And the more I ask them, like, guys, like, what are you actually doing? To make a change. Yeah, I'm gonna start tomorrow, even if it's just working out, even if it's just like a few other things to do. But yeah, man, that's the thing. Like I've just been really focused, bro. Like I've been running my businesses for 8 years now, 9 years.
Wow.
And if you check anything from Instagram or anything from Facebook, I haven't posted anything before, because for me, I never wanted to get distracted. I mean, now like social media is such a big platform, people can use it, But before that, it wasn't the same thing, bro.
What was like the biggest hurdles you had to overcome in your journey?
Like the biggest challenges?
Yeah, the biggest challenges. Like what were like some like times when you were just down bad?
I think, I mean, I'm still young, bro. I'm like 34, but I think the sacrifice, man. I know like it sounds a bit cliche because everyone keeps talking about, if you succeed, if you get to a certain level, and everyone keeps talking about sacrifice, but that's true, man. I didn't get to spend so much time with my family. Even me going to UK at a young age, that was kind of building me to where I am today. My character, my mindset, and everything else. Missing out on the days where my family like needed me for birthdays, for New Year's Eve, and all these things. But I knew one thing is that I don't want to get distracted. I was so disciplined and I was so focused on what I wanted to do. And I remember my father, he came once and he was just like telling my mom that, let him and I wasn't really good at like school and everything. So I had to prove myself when it came to business. And I kept failing in so many different fields. And I was just like, okay, this is just one thing I really have to focus on. And man, like staying away from your friends, your family. Usually now you tell people like keep a balance, have a balance and this will be more healthy. But I was like a workaholic, man. But
I can really like relate to that, bro. Like I feel like that's exactly what I'm like the stage I'm in right now. Cause like with me, it's just me and my mom, right? Like I know like sometimes I feel bad, like, oh, I'll leave my mom alone, like, but it's like shit. Like I gotta stay focused,
Yeah, but bro, as soon as you're gonna start showing results, your mother, your friends, everyone who truly values you and loves you, they will reflect with you. Like they will actually end up saying, yeah, you know, like that's my son or that's my brother, man.
Yeah.
He's doing so well. You know, Coconut Podcast is doing so well right now in Dubai and everywhere else.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a sacrifice for sure.
Yeah.
But with that, if you are showing results, everyone is going to love you, man. And that's truly like right now, everyone else, like in my family, they always talk about me in a certain way that, yeah, he has sacrificed. He's been, you know, in the shadow, but right now he's been doing so well.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways, bro.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel bad for my mom though, because like I put everything on the line, bro. Like when I say put everything on the line, like I dropped out when I was 16, bro.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
I just dropped out knowing that school is not the way, and I'm like, okay, but I don't know what the way is, but I'm gonna figure it out.
But that's the journey, bro. That's like literally because you have so many options with you. Yeah. Imagine the people. I mean, I graduated, right? I spent so many years just studying, and I didn't even know after that what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
You know, it took me so many years. The more you try, and the earlier you try, the more opportunities you're gonna get.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm just glad I like realized all these things like really early on. Like I think I was like 9 years old when I realized like no, school is bullshit. Like, I think it was a funny story. I think it was when it's a really funny story. Like it was something really insignificant.
Yeah.
We were learning about like how to cross the road, shit like that, right?
Yeah.
Like in school. I remember I was like 7 or like 9, and they're like, you gotta press the button, and then you gotta wait, and then like that'll make the car stop. And I just remember thinking, okay, let me actually try that. And I went and tried. I'm like, dude, that doesn't make a difference. Like if I press the button or like just like stand there, like at the crossroads. It's like they're just fucking with your head. Like this is the Matrix, bro.
Definitely, man. Like,
that's why I realized, okay, hold on, they're not teaching me anything useful here,
bro. Like I knew that when I was at school, right? So I went to London, and I remember I was telling my father, like, I don't want to study. I don't want to, I literally want to leave because my whole point was that I want to start my business. I knew that from the beginning.
Yeah.
But no one is actually teaching me anything, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not getting anything, like any knowledge out of someone who hasn't even done anything with his own life.
Yeah.
You know? And people, like even teachers, I remember they actually sensed that at every question that I was asking. I was like, yeah, my father owns, like, I mean, it wasn't like a big business, but he owns a bakery store. I kind of understood always about sales, about marketing, and about a few aspects, you know? Yeah. I was like, man, there's definitely something that's messed up, like completely something that we're not aware of. I mean, at that time, there was no social media, there was nothing, but just to have that thought and that doubt, I think people already are doing well.
Yeah. And I was like, I remember taking my first business class, and I sat in the classroom. And that first hour of like my first ever business class, I was like, yep, why am I here? I'm like, this guy doesn't own a business. I'm learning from someone who doesn't own a business how to run a business.
Yeah, bro. Like if like nowadays, I think people are not questioning, you know?
Yeah.
The more you question yourself, like why you're doing certain things, you know, people are often asking like, yeah, you know, I don't understand my purpose and all that. You don't need to understand so many things, man.
Yeah.
You just need to literally just question yourself, like whatever you're doing, if it's useful, if it's valuable, or not, if it's good for your mind, for your health, for your money, and everything else. Otherwise, literally, people are just wasting their time. I know some guys who are working for a corporate job, and they've been doing the same job for like 10 years. And if I ask them, I'm like, yeah, bro, like you haven't invested your money, you haven't got any savings, you haven't done anything, you're literally just working, and you don't even like it, you know? So it's crazy, man. It's not for everyone, though. It's not for everyone, like, you know, because there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of sacrifice, whatever you say, but at the end, it truly pays off.
Yeah. You know, there's a saying, it's easier to lie to someone than to tell someone that they've been lied to.
That's well said, bro.
If you try to like show people the truth, like they just don't want to see it because like they know it deep down. They know it, but they don't want to ask the questions because they're like afraid of what they're going to find out.
Yeah.
Because if they find out that their whole life has been a lie, then they're going to feel like the biggest dumbass ever.
Man, yeah, that's absolutely true. Well said, bro. Yeah, true.
But yeah. What was the easiest part of the journey, though?
Easiest part?
Yeah.
I won't say easy, bro, but I never wanted to give up. So I was so focused on like achieving something.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even just money-wise, man. I knew like I wanted to achieve something just for myself, but also for my family. So I had that purpose. I had like this motivation. But the easiest part, like a lot of people will end up telling me, and people who actually know me, I was so like there was nothing more. I had no routine. It was just work, work, work.
Yeah.
And it seemed much more easier because I knew that if I get distracted from this routine, I'm literally just gonna break the cycle.
Yeah.
So in some ways, I mean, the more I kept doing it, the more it got easier.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel that. Like, I relate to that so much. I think so many people relate to that as well.
For
like
sure,
so many
man.
young people, like, just on their journey, and you know, so many distractions. Like, it's so easy to get distracted, like even by your own family, but it's like when you lose that focus, it's so hard to get it back, because the hardest part is just getting that focus in the first place,
Man.
and getting in that like mental state.
It's like working out, right?
Yeah.
Like when you get in the gym first, it's always hard. But the more you do it, the more reps you do, it just gets easier and easier, easier. I literally just try to reflect like working out as a business, just balance this between the business
Yeah.
and the mindset changes completely, bro. You know?
Yeah, I try to think of it as if, like, you know, keeping my, like, staying in good shape, like being healthy is like is gonna make me more money, you know? Because it is, like, if you think about it, like, it probably will.
Bro, you know, like the thing is, as humans, we are meant to do some physical exercise. You know,
Yeah.
nowadays, the people who are not even working out or not doing anything, after a certain age, you will see them. They are not as confident as they should be.
Yeah.
They are going through health problems. And I've seen and I've met like millionaires, bro, you know, throughout my
Yeah.
journey. And I've seen like they've been really unhealthy. And sometimes I ask them, like, is there any like something valuable that you can give me? Because I'm still young, you know?
Yeah.
And they always tell me, take care of your health. Because as a man who's 70 or 60 and he gets to a certain age and he's got money, he's got family, and you don't have the health to support your family or like to be there for them, that's the worst part, bro.
Yeah. You know, a lot of times when you're just working, you can kind of get stuck in like a sedentary state, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you're just like in bed on your laptop.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I find myself like, holy shit, I've just been in bed all day just working on my laptop. I'm like, I need to move, like, you know? So, yeah.
When I started my company, bro, before I was so unclear and I was just staying at home. There was this time, like, I won't say like I was not feeling so motivated, and I was like, I have to start doing something that I truly feel like I can bring some value into it, you know?
Yeah.
I was trying to chase money, but when I understood that I have some skills and I should use those skills to make money out of it, and that's when I actually started seeing progress.
So what brings you to Dubai, bro?
Dubai, good question, bro. I came here 5 years ago, and I've just seen that there was so much opportunity over here.
Yeah.
Even in real estate, the people's mindset over here, people are constantly building something new. And that's not even just about real estate, but people's mindset over here. Literally, they're always on the next level. If you're in Europe right now, man, everyone is on the same level. They are stable, you know.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to make a change, like the society is just having so much hard time to adapt to it. And I really wanted to be in a society and in a city where it's diverse, it's creative, but on top of that, like challenge myself, because alhamdulillah, I know that in Paris right now, I'm doing really well, man.
Yeah.
You know, I've got my family, I've got my cars, I've got my businesses and everything else. But after a certain time, you just start feeling too comfortable.
Yeah.
And people,
you need to, like, get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, bro. Like people kept telling me, like, I've got some messages like on my iPhone. People start telling me, like, Adi, like everything is, you know, well settled in Paris. Why would you go to Dubai? But the thing is, after certain times, like, you need to challenge yourself to learn from others. You know, also, like, that's nothing to do like, apart from the business, but you also want to be surrounded by people who are constantly giving you some kind of value. But right now, for my goal is to set up my company over here.
Yeah.
To ship my company from France to Dubai, and also invest into real estate. I want to keep this business ongoing and growing.
Nice. Yeah, and I feel like, you know, once you reach a certain point, like, you gotta just keep going. Like, you know, it's like, okay, you accomplished this, and you gotta move on to the next thing. Because it's like, if you feel like you've arrived to a point where it's like, oh, I've arrived, like, I've reached a destination.
Yeah.
Now you're like just waiting to die. So it's like, what now?
Bro, you need like I'm not even saying like man or woman, but you constantly need to challenge yourself to understand like what are your limits.
Yeah.
There's always a time where you're going to realize that time has run out. You know, we're all going to age, but you can look back at time and realize that damn, like, you know, you've kind of achieved something, even if it's small or big. You know, you've done something. And I always have, I mean, I'm not married, I don't have kids, but I want to be a good example to my future kids.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's kind of deep, but you know, I have this type of mindset, and I want to be that person. I have a little nephew, right? Super cute. He's 8 years old. And I've understood one thing is that the behavior that you do will influence the family and the kids who are going to be around you, you know? And the older you get, the wiser you become, but also you need to change a bit of your character.
Yeah, I feel that, bro. I want to be like I want my kids to look at me like superhero or something.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
I mean, imagine the shame that people like, as a father, you're not influencing your own child, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, often you get to see like in the movies, you know, kids think like their father is a hero figure. You know, if you can't provide that, it's a shame, bro. It's like, I don't know what this, I don't know where the world is going, bro.
Yeah. There's just a agenda that's being pushed of like both parents need to be at work.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
they should like the woman should be working as well and everything. And then it's like, okay, but think about why they're pushing that agenda, right?
Yeah.
If both the parents are out of the house, who's raising the kids?
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Like probably the place where they spend 8 hours a day at school. Like, you know what I mean? And like, what's the school filled of? Like just people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
For sure, man. I really believe that you need to have a balanced relationship. For me, I'm not married, but the only thing that I would look for is a woman who has a strong relationship with her family, a good mother to my kids.
Yeah.
You know, a woman who is close to her faith. You know, there are some aspects that you need to start searching if you're looking for something. You know,
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just wandering around without knowing what you're searching for.
Yeah. You know, I'm really young, right? So a lot of people my age, like, it's like, oh, girls, let's go party, this, that, right? So like when people around me, they're like, bro, like, oh, let's go, like, do this, do that. I'm like they start talking about the girls and all this shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I'm just not interested, bro. Because it's like, they're like, oh, you should get like experience and stuff. I'm like, experience with what? Hoes? Like, I don't need experience with hoes.
I completely understand, man.
You know what I mean? Like, what's that experience gonna get me? That's not gonna be like, the woman I want to marry is not going to be anything like these girls. So like that experience is for nothing.
Rue, you know what? I don't know if anyone told you this on this podcast, man, but for you to be 18 years old, man, I just got to meet you, man. To have this mindset, bro, like I'm 34 years old. The amount of people that I've met and I've connected for business and personal, it's very rare. It's very rare someone that I meet who's got such a strong mindset, who really wants to do something very creative. On top of that, you have a motivation. You're talking to me about your, like, you know, your mother and everything, you know?
Yeah.
And we spoke like briefly just a bit, but bro, you got to be really proud of yourself, man. Hats off to you, honestly. You're in Dubai. You are doing such a creative work. You are getting so much value. You're giving a platform to people, man. Honestly, congrats to you, man. Honestly.
Thank you, man.
At your age, I was not, and all the guys that I know, man, we were not even halfway what you are right now. Having this mindset, bro, man, inshallah, I really pray for you, man. You do well.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
it means a lot, bro. Were you purposely trying to get rich, or did success come as like a surprise to you?
Oh man, damn. No one actually asked me this question before. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I was searching for money. I won't say, I don't know what rich is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the value of being rich. But I wanted to make money because I understood that having money opens a lot of opportunities in life. And I wanted that, not just for me, but for my family as well. I had a relationship before, man. And I understood one thing is that when I didn't have money, a lot of people started working out of my life.
Yeah.
When I didn't have that much amount of money, people closed their doors on me because I wasn't on that level. You know, I couldn't afford certain things.
Yeah.
But now, you know, I can say that like I bought a car for my father. I've done several things. I bought a house for my parents.
Yeah.
But these things, I mean, if being rich or having money brings something, for me that's the most valuable thing. And that's something I was working for.
Yeah. I think it's not really like the piece of paper you're working for. It's what it allows you to do.
Exactly, man.
Right? Like if having a bunch of water bottles allowed me to like travel everywhere and stuff, like I'd just collect water bottles.
Bro, I told you, like I was in Spain, I was working in a call center, man. There's a woman once, I was talking to her and she said to me, she's like, Adi, what are you doing here? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I'm talking to you and you're a smart guy. You know, you grew up in UK. You've got so much knowledge.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like just wasting your time over here. And You know, you just start, like, that was the moment I was start questioning myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just takes another person to see some talent in you, and you know it deep inside you. You know you worth something, but it takes one person to tell you that, you know, you just need to get hold of your life before you start being in this system. You being part of the system. You know, obviously it's going to be difficult. You know, the point of the journey is not to become rich, man. It's to allow yourself to have that freedom. You know, and if you do get that, then that's good, man.
Yeah. Like, I don't think money like buys happiness, or like, you know, that's the purpose of like, oh, just get rich, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, you need to overcome that as quick as you can, because it's like the first obstacle that really comes up in your way, like in life. Like, it's like the money, right? Like, I like to use this analogy. It's like, money's like water, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have any water, all you're thinking about is like, I'm thirsty, I need water.
Wow, man.
Right? But having a room full of water bottles isn't gonna make you like ecstatic.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like the same thing with money, but like, you just need to get over like that that thirst. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you need to quench your thirst.
Yeah.
So you're not like starving and like thirsty.
Makes perfect sense, brother. Yeah, definitely, man.
So then you can like think about like the bigger things in life.
Yeah, you know, my father once told me, he said, I mean, as a Muslim, right, we have zakat. Like, we also give charity. Yeah. And the money that you have, and it's not just the aspect of money, but the thing of being able to donate something to the people who are less fortunate, I think that's just such a big blessing. So if you spend your money wisely, it's going to be so useful for you, man.
Yeah. What role did Islam play in your success?
Okay, I'm 34 years old now, right? Mm-hmm. But the person you would have met like 4 years ago would be completely different.
Yeah.
Even though I was making good amount of money, I was traveling, I was doing many things, like, you know, business deals and everything else. I was not feeling at peace, man. I was constantly feeling like I have everything. And alhamdulillah, I'm very blessed, man. I'm very blessed. I've never hoped that I would have so much. And I have my family, I have my parents who are very healthy. Everyone loves me, man. But I remember once I was feeling very stressed and I wasn't at peace. Someone told me that, you know, as a Muslim, you should be, you know, stop praying. That was the first step. Stop praying, you know, you will see. And I started to pray. I started reading the Quran, you know, with translation and everything. And that suddenly everything changed. My circle of friends changed. But most importantly, I felt at peace. I know that I'm very blessed with what I have right now. I don't know what will happen tomorrow, bro. You know? And I am praying to God for everything that I have right now. And I do hope that He guides me to the right path. On top of that, like, I want to be like very thankful for my family, for my friends, for everything that I have right now, you know? And I really hope that faith allows new opportunities in your life.
Yeah.
You know, maybe having this podcast right now, you know, maybe this is something that this came and an opportunity for me to speak, or, you know, for people to listen, this exchange that we're having, you know? So for me, faith really played a really important role, man. It made me feel at peace. But most importantly, I think I feel so much better. You know, I went for Umrah like 2 months ago. Ramadan just ended, and my parents are going for Hajj right now. So, you know, there are many things, aspect that Islam really helped me.
Yeah. I'm actually very, very interested in Islam. Like, I've been studying recently, like, a lot about different faiths and everything. Because I'm a truth seeker, right?
Yeah.
And I see how the world is, like, without God. I'm like, okay, I don't want to live in that world.
Yeah.
Like, definitely not.
Yeah.
Like, my mom would always tell me this growing up, and I never understood until now, until I like saw it for myself.
Yeah.
And she was like, without God, like, the world just goes to shit.
Bro, you know what? Like, I started posting online, like on TikTok and on Instagram. And the more I started to talk about faith, people started like relating with me. And, you know, this is like a thing. A lot of people don't want to talk about religion. I don't know why. But nowadays, you know, a lot of people are going through this this phase in life. They can't find peace. They can't find just being a good human. There's so many resources that are so toxic. But I think, if the foundation of anything that you do and you have good intention and you keep faith, you're doing well.
Yeah. I'm excited to like learn more about Islam and like different faiths. Like, me and my friend, we just went to the Islamic Center here in Dubai.
Yeah.
So I was asking one of my like Muslim friends. I did a podcast with them as well.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, me and my friend want to like get some of our questions answered. You know? Like there's so many questions, you know. Like you can go to like the Dubai Islamic Center. And like by the way, anyone watching this, if you have like questions about Islam and stuff, definitely go like to Dubai Islamic Center. Like me and my friend, we went there, and the scholar there, like he was so helpful. Like he sat with us for 2 hours. Like we didn't pay him anything. It's like for free. Like, and he gave us like Quran and everything.
Oh man.
And like explained like all our questions and everything. So yeah.
That's so good, man. People like giving you knowledge and guiding you to a way where you want to. Yeah. I went for Umrah and I was staying in I went there for 12 days, and the people who were around me, they were from London as well, constantly telling me, man, like, Adi, if you need any answers, read the Quran with the translation and you will find your way. And honestly, it helped me a lot, man.
Yeah. If you could go back in time and speak to 18-year-old Adi, what would you tell him?
18-year-old Adi, stop looking for someone to blame and get hold of yourself.
Yeah.
Everything is going to work out. I didn't have anyone at that time that I could look up to, or I felt like, things are not going to work out for me.
Yeah.
I left home. I was in UK. I was studying. I didn't even know why,
Yeah.
But man, things were very difficult. I felt like I'm getting bullied, but not even, I didn't know how to speak English. I would imagine like an 11-year-old kid who's coming to UK from Paris,
Yeah.
And I think the 18-year-old me, look after yourself and get hold of yourself. Everything's going to be okay. Keep believing in yourself, and
I mean, I know you shared like many like different lessons you learned, but what was like the most important lesson that you learned on your way?
Actually, it's a video that I've seen on I think it was on social media. That was like during a time that I was dealing with quite a lot, and my father one day told me that I really look up to my father. My father is like a big inspiration in my life, and he always told me that time is the most valuable asset to any person. If you're going through any difficulties right now, remember that time will change. If you don't have an answer to your question right now, wait. Time will give you an answer to everything.
Yeah.
It's not important to always figure everything out, but sometimes you often feel like you need to race against time. But you don't have an answer right now, but with time, things will get sorted out. How many times like some of my relationship didn't work out, some of my deals didn't work out with businesses. I've had loss, I had some benefit, but with time, I became wiser, I understood the process, and to appreciate everything that you have right now. Don't take anything for granted. These are the lessons that actually made me change a lot.
So how much of what you learned in school and university do you actually use like on a daily basis?
All right. I don't want to be like the type of guy because as an entrepreneur, my mindset became very different because I came from working in a small, even if it's call center, in a shop, whatever I had to do. These things didn't really help me with the education system. But I don't want to promote like don't go to school, don't go to university, don't get a degree. There are some kids might be watching this, but it's one thing that you guys should, like whoever is watching this, understand that college gives you a discipline. If there are some kids who are well talented, man, who kind of understand at a young age, you are 18, brother, you understood at a young age that you have a past, you want to do something. There are some people who are completely lost.
Yeah.
It's very rare to be mature or to have your mindset at a young age.
Yeah.
For those people, I would definitely say, go to school, because what else are you going to get up to?
Yeah.
Go out, get in the bad surrounding, don't even know what you're doing. You're going to get at least this type of discipline that you have to wake up, you have to go to school, you will have a purpose.
Yeah.
During this time, if you find that your business is doing well, you can create an online store, you can start a podcast, you can do so many other things. You can even get a job or do something. If that start working out, sure, like you can try that. If you start working out, for sure. School might not be the most useful thing, but for me, if I go back in time, I probably wouldn't go to university.
Yeah.
I think my father was paying so much money, and I didn't even know what I was getting out of it, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, for me, I really was craving just to get out and make money.
Yeah.
And if you tell me honestly, if university was useful, not really, man.
Yeah.
You know, every person who became a billionaire or millionaire, they all dropped out of university.
Yeah.
I've never seen a man who's telling me he's got a PhD and he became a billionaire, because they create a mindset. You know, the system creates a mindset in you that you just become a sheep and you literally just follow a crowd of like people.
Yeah.
You know, and just kills your creativity.
Yeah. And what's crazy is you're literally getting scammed with these college degrees, because what's happening is every single year, the amount of degrees that exist in the world that people have is like increasing a lot. Like there's more and more degrees every day, right? Yeah. Everyone's getting degrees, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, if there is more of something and not as much demand, like its value is less. You know what I mean? So the value for degree becomes less if there's so many. Everyone has a degree, right?
Yeah, I think it's
like back in the
society, man.
Yeah, back in the day, like it was a bit like not everyone had a degree.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like maybe my parents' like generation or something like that. Like you get a good job, like get paid well, you know. But now like the value of a degree is going down, and the cost of getting one is going up.
So much, man. It's crazy. And the worst thing is you don't even know what you're paying for. You don't even have any security. If you're actually gonna get the money back, how many people are actually getting a student loan and they get a job to pay back the student loan?
Yeah.
That's literally like a thing in UK. People getting a degree and they're getting broke because they have to pay back the student loan.
Yeah. It's like you already don't have shit. You want to start off like in debt. Like, you're going into life with like less than nothing.
And I think it's just for society, man. Like, you know what? I dropped out of my master's, right? And my father was like finding it so hard to tell people that I dropped out. Like I didn't do my master's. But even today, man, like people will tell me, you know, like in the Indians and Pakistanis surrounding, they are just like, oh yeah, you know, you've got your businesses and all that, or you're being very creative, but how educated are you? You know?
Yeah.
How is that going to be so valuable to the character, to the person you are speaking to? You know, and I think it's just honestly for a lot of people, it's just for the society to put a stamp that you are somewhat educated.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it.
Like you're not a complete idiot.
Yeah, you're not an idiot. That's it, you know?
Yeah. It's the same with me. Like I relate with that so much because my mom finds it super hard to tell people that I dropped out of school. Like I know if we go to like family gatherings or like, you know, like with her friends, we start talking, right? They'll like her friends will ask me what I'm doing, right? Like, are you in school? I said no. And when they talk to her, my mom's like, oh, you know, he's just taking a gap year or like something. I'm like, I just look at her, I'm like, you know so well I'm not taking a gap year. Like, you know I'm not going back to school.
Yeah, man. For parents, it's really hard, bro. It's really hard because they're very scared, actually. They're very scared that they don't want to lose, like, they don't want to put their kids into bad track in life. You know? Yeah.
So I understand it because, like, it's risky, right? It is risky. Like, for example, like the path that I'm going down, like it could go really bad, it could go really well, right? Yeah. It's high risk, high reward. And sometimes I feel bad for my mom because like she didn't choose to take that risk. For sure. Know? Like I chose to take that risk, like for both of us.
Yeah, I get it.
But it's like
you have a purpose, man. You have a reason why you're doing certain things.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah, man. So great having you on, bro.
Thanks, brother. Thanks to you, bro.
You have any last words, by the way?
Any last words? Bro, I've just arrived to Dubai. Yeah. And a lot of people who I've met over here, very influential. One of you, like you as well, man. I think one of the lessons that I really want to tell people is you are going through difficult times, but the sooner you realize that you make a decision to make a change in your life, the sooner you're going to start making, seeing results. Never depend yourself on anyone else. Mm-hmm. Start making changes and have faith in you, man. Everything. If you're sad today, doesn't mean you're always going to be sad for the rest of your life. Believe that you are capable of doing something better. Everyone has a skill. You just need to understand what you can do in life, which brings you more value. Yeah, that's all, bro.
Perfect. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next episode. This guy just came here, dropped so much value. So leave a thumbs up and subscribe.
Thanks for having me, brother. Thanks for having me. Of course, bro.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks.